know a lot of you guys think these TV hunts are canned, that we're putting honey holes. Well, let me tell you, that's not happening today.
You've heard the phrase, needle in a haystack? Well, that can describe turkey hunting on public ground in Missouri's Mark Twain National Forest. North American Hunter's Gordy Cron is a turkey hunting fanatic, but even he's going to need some help here.
1.5 million acres of public ground, and I'm told that about 1.4 million of that is open to public hunting. You know, it's practically overwhelming when you've got a place that's this large, that's got this much turkey habitat, to go in cold and try to find a good place to hunt.
The Mark Twain is set up across 29 counties in the southern part of the state. One call to the Forest Service pointed him to the Ava district near Springfield.
But still, this is a big chunk of public ground. So I started making some calls, and I got hooked up with Bill Paxton, who works for the Forest Service.
I'd have to say it's awesome. It's been this way for years. You know, we've had some good years and bad years, but this is a little down, but it's always been good. You may have to walk 3/4 of a mile, mile and a quarter.
No problem with that. So when I hooked up with Bill, he basically just pulled out a map and started putting X's here and there. And at least that gave me a starting point. I knew it was still going to be run and gun. I was cold hunting. I was going to have to do a lot of scouting on the run. But at least with Bill's advice, with Bill's help, I had a starting point.
You're going to find some place that's open where somebody else is not hunting. I don't think you're going to have a problem. You're going to get on something.
It's going to be a perfect turkey morning. No wind, good temperature. It's going to get light in about an hour.
This should be really interesting this morning. I mean, we mapped out a lot of places. We have no idea if other hunters have got the idea of going in these same places in the morning. So I'm just hoping that plan A or plan B or plan C works, because if it doesn't, we're down to plan D and we're just going to have to improvise.
You know the old saying, man plans, God laughs. Well, that's pretty much what happened to us the first morning. I mean, we had a great plan. We had great places to go. We get out here, first light, truck, 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 truck. All 4 of those places were taken.
Well, there goes plan C. This is the 3rd place we've stopped, and this is the 3rd truck. These are the places that we had picked out for this morning, and like I said before, we're coming in here cold on public ground, so we need to come up with a plan D really quickly.
But we needed a place to hunt. So we just got in the truck, did some driving around, found a road that apparently wasn't occupied, probably because it sucked, but that was where we were going to start. So at least we were on the ground now and we were hunting. All right, let's have a look here. So what are you going to do? You're hunting public land. There are going to be other hunters here. You just have to be flexible. You have to come up with that next plan, that next strategy, and that's what we had to do. I mean, we hiked back in there, we went up on a couple ridges, there was a lot of turkey sign. I thought, okay, I'm optimistic again. Again, we didn't know if there were going to be other hunters there in the morning, but our plan was to get in there super early, just try to stake our claim on an area and get in there and hunt. And we found a couple places that I thought were just smoking hot.
The optimism of a turkey hunter. Gordy knows this game. Will his positive vibe be enough to put him on a bird?
This is the show me state. Come on, Missouri, show me some turkeys.
You're watching North American Hunter.
North American Hunter is brought to you by Federal Premium Ammunition. Every shot counts. Matthews, catch us if you can. Mossy Oak, it's not a passion, it's an obsession. Nikon, the trusted name in optics. Thompson Center, America's master gunmaker. And by HuntingClub.com, the official site of the North American Hunting Club.
Huck! I'm proud to be a North American hunter, and I want you to be a North American hunter too. North American Hunter TV fans can join the North American Hunting Club for our best offer ever. All you have to do is text the word HUNT plus your email address to 57682. That's HUNT plus your email address to 57682. Good boy. Join the club. Become a North American Hunter right now.
This is the Ava district of the Mark Twain National Forest. It's located in southwest Missouri.
Beautiful area. You got to have some legs to go in there and hunt, but it's a great place. There's a lot of turkeys.
Bill Paxton is with the U.S. Forest Service. His office is working with the National Wild Turkey Federation to improve the already wonderful turkey hunting across Missouri. Gordy Cron is ready for day 2 in the Mark Twain.
Well, we're back at it again this morning. We had kind of a rough day yesterday. We ran into a lot of hunters. I guess we weren't expecting that, even then we were on public land, but it's late in the season, there's been a lot of rain. We had to quickly improvise because all the spots that we had mapped out were taken. So we just did the best we could, and we actually quit hunting a little bit earlier so we could do a little bit of scouting, and that's what we did. And we found some great places, and now it's just a crapshoot whether there's going to be some hunters in those places. I'm doing the owl hoots, I'm doing a little soft calling, just hoping something's going to fire up. I mean, we hiked back in there, we went up on a couple ridges, there was a lot of turkey sign. I thought, okay, I'm optimistic again. Not a gobble. The woods were absolutely quiet. I don't panic when I don't get a lot of gobbling early in the morning because I know from experience that a lot of times the birds don't fire up until later in the morning. So we just kept working down the road, and finally we came onto a really cool meadow, and I thought, you know, let's just set up here for a while, throw out a decoy, and just see if something fires up, and then, you know, at least we're in a good place where we can go after them.
But in the back of my mind, I kept thinking about that ridge top. To me, it looked like it was a perfect travel corridor for the turkeys, and I could just see them working back and forth up on that ridge. So the more I sat there on that field, the more I really wanted to be somewhere else. And I finally got happy feet and packed it up and headed back up the road toward that ridge. You know, I've been walking this Forest Service route all morning. I got to gobble down on that end, gobble on this end, but I think I'm down too low. I've been looking up this ridge and thinking that that's where I need to be. I scouted it yesterday, saw a lot of sign. I got a gut feeling that I need to be up on that ridge. This is where I think they're going to come. I mean, it's my best guess, but I've got good shooting lanes here. It's about 11:30. I've got about an hour and a half until I've got to quit hunting. Missouri, you got to quit at 1 o'clock. My biggest fear is that I'm going to set up here and they're going to walk down on that road down there. But I mean, I've got to make a choice. I'm choosing the ridge. I'm sitting by this tree. So I get settled in and I'm doing just a little bit of light calling, and right away, wham, I get hammered by a gobble. Wow. He's just right over on the next hilltop, and I think I'm in a real good spot because either he's going away from me or he's coming toward me. And if he's coming toward me, he's working this ridge top and he's going to be in my lap. About 5 minutes later, wham, he hits me again. And this time he's closer, so I know that he's working this ridge top, and that if I can just do a little bit of subtle calling, I might get him to come right on over to me. I mean, when it happens, oftentimes it happens quickly, and I'm just panning that whole hillside trying to pick up anything, and all of a sudden I catch a little movement over there, and I look, and I see the tom coming down the hill, and then I see another tom, and another tom, and another tom. I've got 4 toms, one of them just strutting down the hill, and they're all coming in a straight line down through the woods toward me. I'm just going, this is it. This is it. They're coming right down the ridge toward me. This is where it starts to get hairy. I mean, these birds are getting inside 30 yards. We're trying to stay on the strutter, but these birds are going back and forth. They're dodging, they're juking, they're going behind a tree. It's just really hard to keep track of what's going on. And there's just enough cover that we really don't have a shot. And I'm just waiting for one of the birds to clear. At this point, I don't even care which one it is. So when the strutter goes behind a tree, one of the other birds just steps out to the left, and all of a sudden he snapped his head up. I don't know if he saw something, if he saw me move the gun barrel, but all of a sudden it's showtime. I know this is it. I better take the shot. folks. They just kept coming out of the woodwork. That was so cool to watch them coming through the trees like that. That was absolutely cool. There's nothing more gratifying than killing a turkey on public ground. I mean, this is as good as it freaking gets. Oh, man. Oh, look at that. He is a good bird. This guy is a stud. You know, this isn't even the bird I had my eye on. I'd been watching that strutter, the one that is coming in and strut. He had a double beard on him. He had a big heavy rope like this, and then he had a second beard too. And then this guy stepped out and he was starting to get a little bit nervous, and it was time to pull the trigger. I mean, I was 12 yards away from him and there was 5 toms there. That's 10 eyeballs if I count right. So it was time to get the job done. I can't think of a bigger thrill than killing a mature tom turkey on public ground. Remember when I said earlier, show me some turkeys? Well, let me tell you, Missouri did not let me down.
Coming up, Luke Hartle on long-range bow practice, and Ainsley Beeman has this week's field test.
This seems to be a typical late summer problem for me. I try so hard to split hairs at realistic hunting ranges that the harder I push, the more off bullseye my arrows seem to go, and that leads to one huge mental hurdle. Bow hunting season is only a few weeks away, and the last thing I want to do is stop practicing. So how do I fix this problem? Check this out. There's a target way down there at 100 yards, and I'm going to shoot at it. Am I going to hit it? It's hard to say. But what that's going to do is that's going to change my sight picture dramatically. I'm not staring at a 25-yard target anymore, trying to hammer arrows into one little spot. I'm going to stretch it out, launch them, and just watch them fall. I'm going to have fun shooting again. I'm still going to be shooting. I'm not going to put the bow down, but I'm going to put the fun back into it and hopefully break out of that mental hurdle that I've been trying to beat down for so long. You know, that's not a bullseye, but I'll take it, that's for sure. When I was shooting at 25 yards, I was upset about missing by 2 inches. I missed this by more than a foot, and I really don't care, and that's the point. Get out of that mental hurdle by looking at something different. Shoot at a long range, put up a block in your backyard, whatever it is, throw 20 arrows and then walk back to that 20-yard target, 25-yard target, throw some arrows, and I bet you're gonna see an improvement.
Pros Pointers, brought to you by Can-Am. The facts say a lot, the ride says it all.
I'm Ainsley Beeman, and welcome to Field Test. Everything that you'll see here has been tested and approved by members of the North American Hunting Club. If you're looking for the latest outdoor gear, this is information that you can rely on. The Kelly kettle has expanded its use and is quickly becoming an important part in any camping trip. The large kettle, referred to as the base camp, comes in aluminum and stainless steel. Club member Jeff Bright says it provides a mini self-contained stove that can be useful for several cooking purposes. This product is efficient both at the camp and in the field. Made in the USA, handgun hangers are a one-gun pistol hanger that slides under a standard shelf, allowing the shelf itself to be used for other items. Talk about a space saver. They're powder coated so as not to damage the handgun or the shelf. Easy to install, yet extremely functional. Check them out and you'll see what I'm talking about. For more information on these products or to have your gear field tested, join me at huntingclub.com. Remember, it's field tested and member approved. I'm Ainsley Beeman. As always, God bless and good hunting.
You call the shots. Up next.
What's the first thing you think about when you hear the words Roswell, New Mexico?
Well, actually, mule deer.
See, you're on
and
my,
aoudad,
you're on my
because
wavelength.
I have spent time there, and cholla cactus,
And cholla cactus.
occasionally antelope as well.
We'll walk through the airport there at Roswell, and you'll see these people are pretty serious about the whole alien.
Oh,
They
yeah.
really-
And that's great, because as long as we got enough of those sidetracked on aliens, we can
That's
go
true.
mule deer hunting. And if you're going to hunt this country, you can see right here, you definitely got to have good quality optics. And what I add in there is patience, because it takes a lot of sitting and glassing to pick apart that landscape and spot those deer that have set down for the day.
And that's why I think mule deer is such a good species for that first-time hunter. Not so much the first-time hunter, but the first trip out west, because you know you're going to be in open country like this, and you know you're going to see a lot of animals.
And we had that question at the Eastern Sports Show in Harrisburg.
I recently just got into hunting. I've only been hunting for about a year. So would you even suggest someone like me being interested in mule deer hunting? And if so, what would we do as beginners to prepare for a hunt like that?
Generally, if somebody asks me about it, I think there are about 3 basic things that I suggest to them: is get in as good a shape as what you can, learn something about the optics that you have, get to know how to set up a spotting scope, get to know how to set up and really do a whole lot of glassing. And then the other thing is become very familiar and very comfortable with the rifle that you're going to use, if that's what you're going to use.
In my opinion, go out west all day long, because not only
Amen.
are all these elements coming into play, you're saying, but it's just fun hunting because you're seeing game. And what's more exciting than watching a buck coming down a hill and you're sitting there waiting in ambush for a half an hour or more? I mean, that nothing gets the heart beating. And
So what's going on here, Mark?
Well, we're hunting, Gordy, and it's an activity that we as adults partake in. But
I thought you maybe had these aliens on your brain. That expression of yours, you look pretty scared.
Oh, I'm mad at those aliens, man. You show me a little green guy, and I'm going to tell him to get off my planet. Our plan here was to try to cut them off or pinch them into one spot. They're coming down, we're coming at them, and hopefully we're going to meet up. What happened, though, is I just could not cut that distance. I had them across a canyon, and I thought they were going to cross at the head of it, and they were going all the way to the bottom. So I had to make up my mind right there. Either take the long shot or let them go.
I see you're prepared for the long shot. I just love the bipods for this kind of country.
And I kind of helped myself out here. I had built a little bit of shooting bench there. I had plenty of time. These deer didn't know we were around at all.
The other thing I noticed, you had a little ballistic card there on your stock as well.
Good idea.
And with that BDC reticle on the Nikon Monarch, I still want to be reminded which each holding point stands for. And that's just a quick reminder. And you don't always have time to use it, but here I had the luxury. I could have did about anything here. That's a tough, big, mature desert mule deer, and he ate that bullet pretty darn good, even though it was all right in
Yes,
X marks the spot location.
Nice thing about this country too, even if you make a marginal shot, you got usually a chance for a follow-up shot.
Unless the alien spaceships come down and take the animals up into the ships for
I hate when that
experiments.
happens.
North American Hunter is brought to you by new supercharged scent killer by Wildlife Research Center, beyond 99%. Quebec, providing emotion since 1534. To receive your free packages brochure, please call 1-877-BONJOUR. Cuddyback, fast trigger speed, long battery life. Camo USA, adult precision ear guns. Can-Am, the facts say a lot, but the ride says it all. And by these other fine sponsors.